Hey, it's Caroline from Santé Women's Coaching. So glad that you could join me today for another yet fun yoga workout. Today we're doing hip openers and side movements. So this is a very different sequence than what we did previously. But it is fun. You could always do them back to back if you wanted to. Or as I said with the other one, you can do this one and then repeat it. It's entirely up to you. You could even do it honestly after a strength or a cardio video, whatever you want. Yoga is always a great thing to add to the mix because it just stretches and strengthens and kind of balances out the body. So this is a fun one today. So we're going to come over to our mats and we're actually going to start in the middle of our mat. I know, we never do that. Today we are. So we're going to start in the middle of our mat and we're going to come down with our feet together. So at the moment you're not warm. We're going to warm up the body really fast. We're going to start lowering our hips back. So hips are lowering back and then we lift up. We'll just do a couple of those and up. So this is your chair pose, but we're doing it with inner thighs together. Now we're going to take our right leg out to the side, about hip width apart, and come down. We'll do 2 or 3 of those. Never been a huge fan of squats. Now let's open it wider. But I have to admit, they are effective. Oh well. It's a shame that they just aren't that much fun, right? Bring the right leg back together. We're going to do the same thing to the other direction. So now we're doing 3 down. 3, and now over to the side. 1, 2, 3, and now wider. 1, 2, 3. Now with left leg come back to center, and we're actually going to take our legs wider. We're going to turn our toes out, so we're coming into wide stance. But with toes turned out, it's a plie. Now we're going to, again, lower down. But in this case, we're going to keep our back straight so that we're coming against the back of a wall. The knees stay out. The heels, you might have to make adjustments so that the heels stay below the knees. And down. Now we'll actually do a few extras of these. 3, 4. You may not go that far. You may go really far. It's entirely up to you how many you do. Or how low you go. Almost there. 10. And slowly bring those legs back up. Walk the legs together, shake them out. I bet you're pretty warm down your lower body now. Okay, so focus today is on the lower body. So our next one, after our plies, we're actually going to go right into Warrior 2. We just did those plies, so our legs should be nice and warm and our hips should be open, which allows us to take our right foot to the top of the mat and our left foot back. That's going to point to the side of the mat. Our hips are open to the side of the mat. And you can always face me, shift your mat around so that you can face me, however you want to do it. The front knee stays above that front ankle. The back leg is straight. The arms come out to the side. The core is nice and tall, always tall. And make sure you're not shrugging the shoulders. So this is turtlenecking when the shoulders start kind of coming up over the neck. And this is what we want. We don't want turtlenecks. So the arms are out. We're working hard to keep the legs in place. And then we'll straighten that front knee, coming into triangle. So we lean slightly towards the front and then come forward. So your triangle and my triangle will probably look very different. Triangles, warriors, all of these poses, they look different on different people because of our different proportions. I happen to have long arms and long legs. So even though it looks like I'm really stretching hard here, it's just that my arm happens to be long. Most people are actually more right here with their hand on their thigh and the other arm up. But in order for me to feel the work happening through my core, I actually have to come down to this point. The rib cage opens towards the top, to the sky. And remember that we're not bending the rib cage, it's not a side bend. We're keeping the rib cage long from here to here. And slowly come up and release. Now let's go ahead and switch it around to the other side. So now we're doing our warrior two, other leg. Left leg is straight, or left leg is front. Left leg bends, back leg is straight. Again, find that nice safe position. Nice tall spine, arms come out. Enjoy the stretch. It is amazing that even though you can do these same positions for years, there's always something more that you can work on. It really is exciting because you can always start to build a little bit more strength and flexibility here in your hips. You can always get that back leg a little bit straighter. You can always get that core a little bit taller, the arms further back. It's incredible what you can do with it. Now let's go ahead and straighten that front leg. Arms straight back out again, slightly forward lean so that you can come over without compromising your back stability. The only place that you don't want to ever put your hand for stability is on the actual joint. So we don't want to do it on the knee, but we can do above the knee or below the knee. You could even have a block here if you prefer using blocks. A block is great right there. Either way, stay nice and stable, pressing the floor. Try to keep the weight balanced between the two legs and try to keep your core from collapsing down. And use this as a way to build your oblique strength on both sides. And then slowly come up. Release. Bend that front knee, come to center, feet are parallel, and forward fold. And enjoy this forward fold just for a moment. It's always a great break. And you can even bend one knee and lean towards that bent knee side with all your weight, stretching the inner thigh on the straight leg, and then switch to the other side. It's a delicious stretch. It's funny, I never go back and forth. Keep going back and forth. Enjoy the stretches. I never thought I would call it a stretch delicious. I always thought that was a word reserved for food, but I admit you start really appreciating the effects, and then you start enjoying the sensations because they get connected to those effects. So it's pretty amazing. Over time, you will learn to love your exercise. At least I certainly hope so. If you don't love your exercise, talk to me. We'll find some type of exercise that you love because there is something out there that you can enjoy. All right, let's go ahead, straighten both legs, turn towards your right foot, kind of walk your hands over, turn the feet to where you can come into kind of a lunge, bending that front knee, lowering down into a lunge with your right leg forward, and then we're going to twist up. So the right arm is going to twist up towards the sky. We're twisting at the hips, at the waist. The arm comes up. It's a delicious twist. Again, here it is, delicious. Now let's bring our right arm down, walk our way over to the other side. Lunge with the left foot forward, right arm is on the floor, right hand is on the floor rather, and left arm reaches up, another twist. Let's do that one more time each side, and you can see how all the movements were building up to this. So you could even take it out further behind you by turning that back foot down. See? And then try the other side, walking those hands over, twisting yourself around, and then come back to center. One more forward fold, hands to your hips, come up with a flat back, walk those legs together. Now, we're going to try one more chair pose. This is a little bit different than our normal chair poses, and it's very different from what we did at the beginning. But we are actually going to bend the hips, or bend the knees, bring the hips down, and then that same twisting action. So if we were standing straight up and we simply twist it around, that's what we're going to do with bent knees. So we're here, and we're going to twist up. So this is a twisted chair. Try to keep those knees together, and you can bring your hands in prayer pose. So the hands come to the side, you're twisting over. You can even set your left elbow on your right knee. And then come out. chair is not easy. So don't be surprised if you say, ow. All right, let's go ahead and come back up, hands to your hips. We're gonna come into our chair pose on the other side. So the hips go back, knees bend, they don't go further than the toes. Palms together, twist to the side, and here you are. Keep the knees together, enjoy the twist, hold as long as you want to, or don't want to, I'm sure. Slowly forward fold, straighten the knees, and release. Let's go ahead and alternate those knees, bending side to side. And hands to your hips, come up with a flat back. Now you know how much I enjoy a little bit of a challenge. So here's your challenge pose for this sequence. Follow your weight into your right leg. Left ankle rests on your right thigh. From here, we're going to bend back as though we're sitting into a half squat. So you can stay here, or you can bend it further, or further, or further. You can take it into your arm balance if you want to. So that would bring your hands to the floor, the foot wrapped around the upper elbow, or upper tricep, and then you simply bring your weight forward and lift the back foot. Put your weight back down, hands to your hip, ankle, and come up. So, you want to try on the other side. We'll see how that one works for me. Left foot's not as strong. So, weight onto the left foot. Right foot, right ankle rests on the left thigh, coming into, at first, your one-legged squat. Then you reach down to the floor. Once you're taking your time with each stage, then you wrap that foot around the top of the elbow or the top of the tricep, and slowly lift your back foot off the floor. Hands back to the floor, foot rests on the floor, and lifting yourself up, foot down. That is not necessarily easy. Take your time with each step or with each stage. It is a fun one to do. It does require that your hips are open, so make sure you do your plies first, that your body is warm, that your muscles know what's going to happen, and then, you know, what's the worst that can happen, because you're already so close to the floor, you can't fall real far. So give it a try. See if you may end up finding that you surprise yourself. Okay, so now we're coming down to the floor. From here, we're going to take our right elbow down to the floor. We're going to turn to our side. We're going to build a little side strength here. So in the side plank, you could come to this position and stay here. So this would be a modified or a good beginner version of side plank. If you want to add a little bit to it, then you add the foot straight out. If you want to do a standard side plank, officially a standard side plank, then the legs are straight. Either way, any of them are a challenge. As long as if you're feeling it right here, then you're challenged. So I'll show the modified. And then you just hold it for a moment. Taking a breath, that upper arm can reach up. And slowly release. Roll the shoulders up and back. And we'll try the other side. So again, find a version that works the best for you, but you have to stay safe above all. So that means that that elbow needs to be directly beneath the shoulder. And you might find that depending on how your hand is rotating, that since it allows your shoulder to adjust slightly, that one hand position is more comfortable for you than another. Holding in, making sure that you have a straight line from your knees or from your feet, whichever is touching the floor, to up through to your head. You're in a straight line. And the arm can reach up. Building strength. No matter what version you choose, you are building a ton of strength. And then slowly lower. Lifting yourself back up. Shake those arms, roll the shoulders up and back. Okay. Now we're coming on the hands and knees. Bring the right foot forward, and then we're going to open the right foot out to the side. This is called a locust pose, so this is similar to our lunge, but it allows for that front foot to open. And this is a great stretch when you've been doing the hip openers. So it's just really easy. You just rest in the pose as long as you want and enjoy it. Slowly release, come back to center. Straighten that front leg and then bring it back behind. Shift it back and forth, shift the hips. And then we're going to bring our left foot forward. And just like before, we're going to let the knee open to the side. The foot turns onto its side. You will feel the stretch right here. And just enjoy. We never want to rush through our stretches. We do have to give our bodies time to accept the stretch and not to panic and try to tighten back up again. So we do have to take our time. And release by bringing the knee back, the foot down to the floor. Bring that foot back behind. Shake out those hips. Open to the side so that you can come and sit on your side. Shifting the legs open. Brush off any dust from the floor. And then from here, your legs are wide. This is called a straddle. So the legs are wide. You can make sure you're nice and tall. And then if you don't feel any stretch through here, through your inner thighs, that's when you move forward. If you are already feeling stretch right here, then that's as far as you need to go. You're not going to be able to get any more out of that stretch. But we're all different. We have different proportions. We have different, even the way that the bones fit within another bone, that's different from person to person. Skeletons don't even look the same. So we have to really be careful and pay attention to how it's feeling in our bodies and work with what we have. It's very important that we work just with what we have and that we don't worry about what we could do in the past or what we're hoping to get to in the future. When you're doing your stretches, when you're doing your strengthening with yoga, you focus on just what you can do right now. By doing that, you'll never overwork your body, you'll never hurt yourself, and you can always be making slow but steady progress. So we're enjoying the stretch, and then slowly lifting back up. Bring the feet together, shake out those legs, coming onto your back, hands behind your hips, rolling yourself down safely, and then onto your back. The feet are flat, knees can rest against each other with the feet open wide, or you can allow your legs to stretch straight out into Shavasana. The arms come out to the side, the palms open up to the sky, the shoulder blades are flat on the floor. And then you just rest. Stay in this position for as long as you like. I like to put on a worship song, and that's usually about 5 minutes for a rest period. And then when you're finished, you just get up. I hope you enjoyed this workout and that it was effective and you feel great. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I want to make sure that you stay safe and that you do get something out of every workout. Have a great time, and I'll see you next time.